Okay, so we've got our glue. I'm going to get rid of my pencil and all that stuff because we don't need it now. I'm going to use trusty old needle for this. And my glue is become very tacky, and that's what you want. You don't want it dried or clumped, you just want it really tacky. And if you leave it out, it gets nice and tacky like that. So let's start with our beads. And I'm working on a piece of parchment paper because I really don't want any of this glue on my beading mat. So you might want to keep that in mind. So I'm just dumping them on this parchment paper, which will make them kind of slippery. Alright, so first thing you're going to do is take your needle and some of your glue, okay, and just put it on here, on your egg, in a mess like this. Doesn't really matter. Alright. Oh, wait. Wait. What am I doing wrong here? Okay, we need to do this part first, not the yellows. So I need my pink 8/0. So let me just wipe this glue off because I messed that up and fix it. Oops, so dirty now from there. Wiped off. So we need pink, and I'm going to use turquoise beads. And this is where I don't want my beads all, because they just kind of fly everywhere on this parchment paper. So if you get glue on a bead, I suggest you either use it or throw it out, because you're going to end up plugging the hole on it and you're not going to be able to use it when you start beading. So I'm going to use the pink ones in the center. And then I've got turquoise for fillers. And that's where I started, was in the center of my egg. These caps don't want to come off. Alright, and I'm just going to dump some in my bead tray. You can use bead trays actually, it's probably a better idea. Alright, now let's make so I did one in the center, so grab some glue and just do like a cross like this with some of your tacky glue. And I'm just going to run my needle through this. And don't be cheap with the glue, because this stuff dries crystal clear. Okay, now as you can see, I still have glue on my needle. I'm just going to kind of, I used my hand for this. Whoops, touched my glue. I used my hand to wipe a bit of the glue off. Okay, and then I used my needle to pick up my beads with, like this, to sit them on there. If you use those sticky things for bead embroidery, these don't come off very easily. So I just been picking them up and dropping them on there with glue. And I'm just placing beads with a gluey needle. I'm pretty sure that's all I put down. So now you can see I need to push them together. So I'm just going to do that. Keep them centered. Keep them straight. And I used my needle for that. Okay? So you can see those ones are straight. It's really not that hard to do. And we just did 2 across. So I'm going to stick my needle in the glue, dab it a bit, and pick some more beads up with my needle. And push that bead into that one. Oops. Careful how you do it. Line it up nice. Pick up another one. That's a yucky bead. And line it up there. And do the same thing over here. And if you let your glue get a little bit tacky, it dries quick for you. So you don't have to wait forever between beading your egg. Alright, so we've done that. Let me just turn this to me so I can see it for a second. Push them together. So these are 8/0s in a pink color. Alright, so now I'm going to use no sticky or glue on my finger, and I'm just going to give those a little press. Make sure they're pressed into the glue like that. Okay? Well, you can see I pressed it too much, like that. Now, yes, I'm just going to fidget with them a little bit to make them nice and even. So when I was doing this side here, I was allowing these beads to dry for about 20 minutes, letting this glue set for 20 minutes. If it was something like this, I let this sit overnight because I didn't want to pull any of these beads off on the side because they are check beads and they're standing up. As you can see, they're all standing up, so you want to be careful what you do. Alright, so now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put some glue on our needle and rub some glue on the egg here in this little area because we're going to add some 11/0s in there. Okay. And I'm going to do 2 sides. Rubbing the glue in like that and flipping it around carefully and putting some more glue on it. Like I said, you can use a head pin, but I found the needle works just fine, and it's just going to end up in the garbage anyways. So you put too much glue, you're not going to see it because it dries clear, and your beads, you won't see the glue on them. Alright, so I'm going to wipe most of my glue off like that, and now I'm going to pick up my 11/0s, and I'm going to pick up one. Well, I got 2 there, but that's okay. One's going to go in the middle, and then you're going to put 3 across on the top, lining them up with this one and this one. Pick this one up, put it in there, and then I just use my needle to shuffle them in there so they stayed nice. Yep, I hear you, Miku. Okay, like that. And you're going to do that all 4 corners. You're going to push a bead in the corner like that. Don't push it too hard. And you can see I've got a little bit of glue on my beads, but I'm telling you, it dries clear. You're not going to see it. Okay. Like that. So you can see this one's not quite lined up. So I just they're kind of in there like this. And that one's not quite in there properly. There we go. Alright, and I pushed this one out of my way. So we have it like that. Okay, so keep picking up your beads. Dab, you don't need a whack of glue on there. Turn it, put your bead on. Oh, I don't want that to be in my needle. Okay, so I'm just going to push this in there like that. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Push that in there like that. We hear you, baby Mikus. Okay, pick up to your last corner here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. See how that one doesn't want to flip for me? So I just have to take it out of the glue, push it down. There we go. And there's your beautiful little colors. And you could do whatever color you want. Now let me look at this because something doesn't look right. It's this one here. It doesn't look right. So let me just push this over. Shit. You shouldn't use, don't use the glued end of your, I always flip it over. I gotta put a new bead on here. This one just went, there we go. Get off. Alright, so I'm going to put, I have this little egg stand, but you can use, what do you call them? Napkin rings. You know those rings you buy and you fold up your napkins fancy? You can use a napkin ring to sit your egg on, and that might be a good thing to do. Alright, so I'm just checking them now to make sure they're all even, and they all look pretty good to me. What do you think? Okay? So I'm just going to dab that down with my finger, make sure they're all set in glue. And when this dries, I'm telling you, it's going to dry crystal clear. So no panics. Don't panic. So let me move this out of the way and get rid of these beads because we're not going to be using them now, because next we're going to put on the yellow curlicues. So I didn't get any glue on these, so I can put them back so they're safe. And I'm going to put these 8/0s back because I don't need them. We're done with those. It's just really hard to work if you got a pile of beads all dumped everywhere, believe me. Whoops, missed one. Alright, so I'm going to pick up my yellow 11s. And I'm just going to leave them in my bead tray because that's how I've been doing this. Alright, now pick up your needle. And now we're going to do our curlicues. So we're going to just do it this way. You're only going to do one at a time. You don't want to put a pile of glue on here and have it dry on you. So I'm just sticking glue on like this with the end of my needle. Rubbing that off. How many did we put? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we went around. Alright. So I'm just dabbing a bit of this glue off. Now I'm going to start picking up beads and placing them down. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, just take them, push them all together, make a straight line, get them all even. Put your egg down, clean your needle off, and it just comes right off with your fingers so that your beads don't stick to your needle and pull them right off. And now we did 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We went 5 beads around in a circle. So I'm just going to put a little glue on there, pick up 5 and start making a circle. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, so push these out of the up together, and 1 more, 5. So now we want to make this into a circle like that. But not too small of a circle because you want to be able to fit a 4mm bicone in the center there. Okay, so we have it half joined. So we need to move it down a bit and join it here in a circle, like that. And there's one done. Now you're going to put glue in the middle there like that. And you're going to get a bicone, which I have here somewhere. Or do I? Pretty sure I do. Yes. I'm going to dump them out. And I'm going to pick one up with my sticky needle and drop it in there like this. And you should do it while it's still wet so you can adjust your beads so your bicone sits in there like that. Okay? And it's sticking up. And when it dries, it'll dry hardened in there. Okay, so now you're going to do the same thing over here. You're going to put glue on it, like so. Wipe some glue off and start picking up your beads. And I'm using any kind of toe or any kind of 11-0 seed bead. If you're curious to know what kind these ones are, these are my Tohos. You could use check beads too. 6. Start making my circle. 2. And there. And I think it's pretty much a circle, and I'm going to put a bit of glue in the center, like that. Fix that. That doesn't look right. Why does this look so different? Ah, I see. Well, I'm going to drop a crystal in there and stand it up. Make sure my circles didn't distort. There we go. And there you go. Now you're going to do it again. So I'm not going to go on, stay on camera. I'm going to go off camera, and I'm going to finish doing exactly like this. I'm actually going to put some more tacky glue out so it gets nice and thick and tacky. So I don't run out of glue. Always have glue out, poured out on your tray so you can get sticky glue. If you do it fresh out of the bottle, then yeah, then it's runny. So let's push those down. There you go. So I'll go finish doing just this, and then I'm going to come back and show you what to do next. So go finish yours. Okay, so I've gotten all the yellow done with a crystal in there. As you can see, they're sticking up. The glue's still a bit wet, but this, I'm telling you, this egg is so pretty. Absolutely love it like this. Okay, so the next part we're going to do is these, actually we're going to put our red, if you guys are using a Monty's, I don't know if this is the same color red. No, this is a darker red, but oh well. I'm not going to go dig them out. I'll show you what I did with the tweezers. So you're going to need 4 of these big 6 millimeters. I think these are 6 millimeter Monty's. I just took it in my finger, took my tweezers, bent the prong up like that on 2 ends, like so, and dropped the Monty out of it, the crystal, see? And then I just threw away the backings. Now you can buy these flat backs, but I didn't have the colors I wanted. I do have some. We need 4 of them. So you can go order these flat backs, or you can pluck them out like I'm doing. That's a pretty deep colored red, but it is a pretty red. Okay. And there we go. So let me just get these little prickly things out of my way. And now we're going to put some glue. We're going to glue 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 in between each of our yellows. And as you can see, this glue sets up pretty quick because I poured myself some more out. The other stuff was really getting too thick. Whoa, that's too much glue. You don't need a lot for the flat backs. So I'm just going to scoop some out of it. Miku, what are you doing, baby boy? Miku. And there we go. Now, I didn't pick those up with a needle because I don't want glue on the actual crystal itself. So I just picked it up with my finger, like this, and just dropped it on. There's 1. I'll straighten them up in a bit. 2. 3. 4. So now you want to line them up with in line with the pinks. Push it on. 2. That one. And that one. Now I am going to sit this down for a bit and let that glue set a little bit, just because I'll be working around them and I really don't want to knock them around. I want them to stay, if the glue stays tacky, they shouldn't fall if you use this nice tacky glue. 1 sec. Okay, so what I've decided, I am going to finish my border. So I'm going to show you how to do this border all the way around, because then it's easier to work with the egg if the border is nice and dry here. So let me just show you what I did with the border. So I'm going to get blue 8/0s because I'm working with the blue and white. But the blue are going to go on the other side of this green. So the green I used I just used 3mm fire polish, and I standed them all up. But I did the border, the white, the blue, and then I put the green to stand up nicely on this border. And then I did the red and the black after. And that's what you're going to do after too. So for the border, I just want to be extremely careful because these are still wet and I could still nudge them. As I'm going to pick up some glue. And then I'm just going to drag it all along on one half of the egg. Like that. I'm actually going to put some more glue out so I don't run out, and I want some more tacky glue. So let's get another pile. Okay. So let's pick up some more glue. So I'm just gluing, putting some glue with my needle. It's okay to get a little bit on the crystal, it's not going to hurt it. But just make sure you have enough glue covering everywhere on the egg itself. Okay. Like that. Kind of dry in here. I'm gonna go get a drink. Okay, I'm back. So, okay, now what I did here is I just went a little bit over. That's all. Oopsies. Just wipe the glue off. Alright, so now I got my tacky needle, and I'm going to place the 8/0s right between the green ones on either side. Like that. Pick up some more glue. Oops. And I'm just going to go all the way around where I put my glue. Pushing them up against the green. Tapping that. Okay. Whoa, I got two. And make sure they're pushed together. I'm just going to use my finger here. Like that. Well, I like picking up two at a time. Makes it quicker. So you can see I kind of went a little crooked with the green ones, but okay, so I'm going to go finish putting the blue all the way around like that. So I started with the white. When I was doing this side, I started with the white and I put the white on this line here, your very first line of your border, and then I worked the blue and then the green, and now I'm working on the other side. Okay, so I finished putting the blue on, and then I started putting a second layer of white to match this side here, and you just kind of need to line them up the same with each other. I'm putting the glue on in the same manner. Just dabbing it on. You don't want it too thick of glue. So I'm just putting glue on, and then I'm going to continue putting on beads. And if I could pick 2 up at a time, I love it. But getting them to lay flat is another story. So I'm just picking them up, pushing them up against the other beads, like so. Oh, this one popped out. That's going to throw it off a bit. There. Put some more glue on. That off. As you can see, I got glue on the beads, and I did over here, but when it dries you aren't going to see that glue. And now I'm going to continue from the top. I'm actually going to put some more glue down because my little piles are drying. This glue is so thick it's hard to squeeze. Really thick stuff. You can see it's very thick. And I'm pretty sure I don't need any more. Alright, so let me finish at the top here. And I always use my fingers to push them down. And you can see this glue is starting to turn clear. That means you know it's setting, drying. Oops. Oh. Yeah. I think I have room for one more bead. Yes. Oh. There. Okay, so I finished all the white, and now I started to put a layer of the red beads on. Now the red ones are the 11-ohs. So these 2 rows are 8-ohs, the blue and the whites are 8-ohs, and these red ones are 11-ohs. Now, I'm not placing them close to each other, I'm putting them between the 8-ohs. So I'm picking up one and putting it between the 8/0, so that way there'll be a little space there, like this. So you just put it in between the gap that joins your 8/0s like this. Hopefully you can see that. And you're going to do that all the way around with the 8/0s or 11/0s. Placing them between an 8/0 like that. And that's what I did here. See, with the red? And you're going to do the same thing. So I am going to go finish this row, and then I'm going to come back and show you what to put on next. These are not going to line up as straight as the other ones, so I'll be right back. Okay, so we've got all the red on now. So now we need to do 2 rows of black, but we're going to have to look at this side and go across and do it in the same. If you see where I started here, I didn't start right at the very top because our little triangle-y things are there. In fact, we can just do those and get them over with if you want, and then save this for the very last. Okay, so let's put some glue on then. Let's get some different color out here. So I need some pink and some 15/0s. So you're going to need an 11/0 and a 15/0. And the 15/0s are really tiny, so don't need too many. And my pink ones I'm just going to sit on my parchment paper because you don't need too many. So put some pink out. Alright, now, so we're going to put 4 beads across. So let's pick up some glue and let's do this. And just make like a V. Okay. Stretch it out. Okay. And now you're going to pick up the 11/0 first. Let's have a look and see if I went any lower. Yep, it should be a little lower. So go down here. Oopsies. Alright, now you're going to put 3 beads on each side of that middle bead to get your V shape. Okay, and then you're just going to line them up, push them down, make sure they got glue in them, line them up. The middle one. Okay, now pick up 3 more and put them on the other side now, making a V. That's all I'm doing. Like that. Now you're going to fill in. Oops, this one's a wee bit crooked. Oops. Put a little more glue there now. Pick it back up and put it back. There we go. Now, line them up. I kind of pushed them over, so put them back in the center. that. Perfect. All right, now we're going to put 50 no's in here, so let's pick up some glue and just fill it in like this. Okay, ouch. And then I'm just going to tap that, and then I'm going to pick up a 50 no and drop it right in the center between, like this. And then put 50 no's all along each side, and I think I put 5. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 on each side of your middle one. So let's pick up another one and put it down. So make sure you line them all up. Now we got to pick up 4 for the other side. 1, 2, 3. Whoops. I don't think there's any glue here. 3 and 4. And make sure they're lined up. Perfect. Like that. And this glue comes off the needle very, very easily. I just take it and pull it off. And then it rubs off my skin. The glue is water-based anyways. So I'm just gonna adjust these to go down a bit so they're all even. There we go. Now take some more glue and you're going to put another layer of the pink, same way. Wow, I think I took too much glue. Just wipe a bit of that off. There we go. Alright, so now we need pink. So we'll pick up a pink one. That one dried to parchment paper. And push it in the middle. Put 3 on each side. 1, 2, and 3. And push it down. And you need